Welcome back. Now, amid frosty Indo-Canadian relations, top Canadian government officials have admitted the plot against India and the Indian government in the Hardeep Singh Nijjar case. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's National Security Advisor, Nathalie Drouin, has admitted to leaking sensitive information on India in the Nijjar matter. The information was leaked to a US newspaper, which is a Washington newspaper, and Canadian officials have admitted that they leaked the information because they felt it was necessary. So imagine, viewers, the hit job by the Western media against India was not great investigative journalism, as it was claimed to be. It was Canada feeding anti-India information to the Washington Post, and the Washington Post subsequently publishing it to spread a one-sided narrative against India. Not just Trudeau's National Security Advisor, even the Canadian Deputy Foreign Minister, David Morrison, gave a statement while appearing before the Foreign Interference Commission and confirmed that the leak was part of a larger communication strategy. So what should we therefore make of all these mammoth Canadian blunders? Not only did Justin Trudeau admit not having credible information, now his top officials have testified that they leaked information against India to the American press as part of their communication strategy. All of this just to appease hardline Khalistanis in Canada. Listen in to this Canadian admission.
So we worked with the Prime Minister and the different ministers in terms of their public statements, and I think this is what I can say. Like we advised and we review what was going to be the Q&As and the public statement by the Prime Minister and the different ministers.
I'm trying to understand why it is the Washington Post received information when the Deputy Commissioner, the Commissioner, the Prime Minister, the Public Safety Minister, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs did not provide that information to Canada. And in fact, Canadians wouldn't know unless they were able to read the Washington Post. I just find that quite unfair to the Canadian public that details were released in advance to the Washington Post and confirmed, according to Mr. Morrison, to the Washington Post, but not provided to Canada. Don't you find that odd?
The reason why we offered, as I said in my opening remarks, a background interview to the Washington Post was really to make sure that our side of the story will become clearly and be widely spread, especially at the international level. That was the strategy behind the background interview we gave.
Now, India in the past had shown the mirror to Canada and its Prime Minister Justin Trudeau after he admitted that his government had no hard evidence when it initially accused India of being involved in the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Justin Trudeau, who was testifying before the Foreign Interference Inquiry, acknowledged that when his government implicated India in the Nijjar assassination matter last year, they were acting on intelligence rather than definitive evidence.
We chose to continue to work behind the scenes to try and get India to cooperate with us. Their asks of us was, well, how much do you know? Give us the evidence you have on this. And our response was, well, it's within your security agencies. You should be looking into how much they know. You should be engaging us. No, tell us what you know. Show us the evidence. And at that point, it was primarily intelligence, not hard evidentiary proof. So we said, well, let's work together and look into your security services, and maybe we can get that done.
When we go across to Rishabh, Rishabh, American media and American newspapers have now become instruments in the hands of the Canadian government to propagate a certain narrative against India. That's the biggest takeaway from that interaction between the Canadian National Security Advisor and the committee she was speaking to.
Well, definitely, the Canadian NSA was talking to the Parliamentary Committee on Public Safety and National Security, where she admitted that she, along with the Deputy Foreign Minister of Canada, David Morrison, have leaked issues and sensitive information to Washington Post. And the way this has been done is something which is really murky. Even before the Prime Minister spoke about it to the national media or even in the parliament. These information was leaked to an American outlet, and the way these informations have been leaked is being investigated by the Parliamentary Committee on Public Safety and National Security, given that the Washington Post knew things that even Canadian security agencies didn't know at that point, and that is something that has come to light now. And now the admission from NSA and Deputy Foreign Minister categorically shows that how Canada is using US press against India and against Indian government. So in a way, using Five Eyes, using media in US, Canada is trying to corner India, while the Prime Minister was shown mirror that he didn't have any proof when he made those scathing remarks against India back in September last year.
And this is only now bound to escalate. Already existing tensions now, Rishabh, between India and Canada. Presumably, there'll be an Indian response as well to the claims made by the NSA.
Well, definitely, if we see, these claims that have been made by NSA or the Deputy Foreign Minister, for that matter, in front of the committee, the Parliamentary Committee, it will definitely escalate situation between India and Canada. India has been of the side that you haven't given us proof, be it the former High Commissioner of India, Sanjay Verma, who spoke to us on Times Now as well, that not an iota of, proof was shared with India or Indian High Commission. There were just allegations based on some intelligence that they were talking about. Even those intelligence were not shared with India, and that is the reason that India could not cooperate. India was very clear that if you want us to cooperate, give us proof, and this is what Justin Trudeau has also spoken about when he was there on the Committee for Foreign Interference, and he said that we spoke to India and India said give us proof. Back then they didn't have any hard fact against India. Apart from that, if we talk about India-Canada relationship, it has definitely seen a nosedive already in last 2 to 3 months. Sure. And with the withdrawal of High Commissioner from India and expulsion of senior diplomats of Canadian government from India, it is further going downward, and these statements, these admissions coming in from Canada further solidify India's stand and shows mirror to Canada how they have messed up the whole diplomatic relationship with one of the world's most fastest growing economy.
All right, many thanks for that perspective.